Hello, so this is Sean, and I've had this watch for a while, but I just thought it'd be quite interesting to make a video about it. It's just really a ramble on some of my thoughts about really, really cheap watches, really. And it's not affordable watches, I'm not criticizing, you know, Seiko or Citizen or reputable brands. I'm thinking specifically about, well, watches like this, and I've never really liked homage watches as well, to be honest. So perhaps that, I don't know. Tell me how you feel about homage watches. I've always been a bit uneasy about them. But so this watch is the cheapest watch on Amazon that I could find, and it cost 1 penny. And obviously that didn't include postage, so I think it was what, £2 or whatever postage. Came from China, and I thought I'd just have a look at it and we could have a bit of a discussion about it, really, because I think it's interesting, not just obviously from a horological standpoint in terms of watches, but also, you know, modern society and the fact that we can buy things for really, really, really cheap and they become disposable and things like that. So I've not looked yet, but I've taken the back off it as well, so we'll see what lurks behind this. So it's a white kind of, I guess it's a kind of dress watch, isn't it? And it's got Arabic numerals and it says quartz, and it's got a leather strap, and I would say, I've not measured it because I'm never going to wear it, but I would say that it's about 40 millimeters, maybe slightly more. And then on the back it says stainless steel back, which is which is awesome. And then let's see what's in there. So this is the quartz movement in the back, HJ21. I'm sure that maybe means something. Maybe it should mean something to me, but I've got to be honest, it doesn't. So let's see what we can do with this. I'm not an expert in these things, but we can take this plastic thing off. It really is like a piece of plastic. It's like, it's not even been no attempt to make it tidy whatsoever. And then that's the quartz movement, which is ugly as sin, really, isn't it? And let's see if I can get a look at the. Like I said, I'm not an expert, so I'm actually going to break it, right? And that is the dial, and the dial is actually. It's funny because I thought it was, but I couldn't really believe it. But it is actually. It does feel like paper. Maybe it's plastic. Oh no, it's metal. Some sort of metal. Oh, and the hands have come off. But anyway, in terms of this watch, I mean, one thing that you could say is it's absolutely amazing that we can have a watch that costs a penny, you know, and that we can buy things that serve a purpose. And they are very cheap. And if you know you don't care about watches, or you don't care about brands, or you don't care about quality, really, I mean, that sounds snobbish, but it's not intended to, then you can buy something that performs a function, and then you can just leave it, and that's that. What I would say, well, I think wearing this watch would be an uncomfortable experience because it's too big, and the strap's horrible, and it's ugly as well. But you know, that is one thing that we could say. Another thing that we could say about this is, you know, in terms of the human cost that goes into producing these things. I mean, you know, the ethics of it. I'm not a massively ethical consumer or anything, but you know, I do think twice about buying something so cheap, because obviously the people who've made it have not been fairly recompensated and things like that. And also it makes me think of, fashion and all the things that I dislike about fashion. Slow fashion and fast fashion and Primark and companies like that, which make things as cheaply as possible, and that relies on the exploitation of workers, and to a certain extent it relies on things that are not very high quality, so they break, so you have to buy more of them, and things like that. I'm a sociology teacher, so there is a theory called postmodern theory, and basically postmodern theory talks about hyperreality. It talks about the idea that basically in a postmodern society, what we now have is copies that don't have originals. So this is, a copy of a copy of a watch, if you like. Back in the day we had watches that were produced by a manufacturer, and they took care over the movement, took care over the case. They wanted to produce a quality product that could last forever. This watch is so far removed from that it is essentially a copy of a copy. This is a crap copy of a crap quartz watch. It's the crappiest of the crap. It's lowest common denominator, and that's, again, apologies for sounding a bit snobby and a bit aggressive about it, but I do think that these things for me shouldn't have a place in the world, really. I don't understand who benefits from watches that cost a penny existing. I understand that some people don't want to spend a lot of money on a watch, but this watch is not going to last very long. It's also ugly. It's also got a high human cost, and things like that. But I think another thing that I would say is that this watch is almost like, it's kind of anti-style and anti-authenticity, if you like. So this watch is not being designed. It's not being, there's no care being taken over it. Whereas more affordable watches like Seiko, like Citizen, like even Swatch are a brilliant company that I love. They give you something. There's something to buy into. There's something to love and something to settle on with those brands. This is, it almost doesn't exist. It's that much of a nothing, really. Anyway, so that's my 2 cents worth. A bit of sociological theory in there as well. I've destroyed a watch and I'm not sorry. But yeah, so tell me what you think about this sort of thing, not just in terms of watches, but also in terms of fashion and clothing and things like that. I mean, is a piece of clothing or a watch just about function? In which case, the best thing you can do is probably buy the cheapest one available, and therefore this is fine. But if it's not, if it's more meaningful than that, perhaps it isn't. Anyway, if you like the channel, please subscribe, and thanks for watching the video. Bye bye.